So I've talked about this idea of reframing in the past as a helpful psychological tool to deal with anything that sort of produces anything from anxiety, irritability, whatever. So I want to share a very personal example, which, again, my example might seem incredibly trite. That's not the point. My point is that for anyone, I think there are similar examples. Okay, we live in a house that has glass everywhere. So it's like, large windows, glass doors, glass everything. And I happen to be a neat freak and a clean freak, which means I really don't like fingerprints on glass. Everything that is glass has a handle, which means you technically never need to touch glass ever with the human hand. My two youngest kids, age 7 and 10, prefer to use their hands to touch glass at all times. And look, it's not like I've ever yelled at my kids because of this, but there's a lot of eye rolling and there's a lot of, oh, come on guys, we just had these cleaned. Do you really need to plant your hands all over them? And then I'd be walking around the house with my little glass cleaner and my little cloth, just constantly trying to do this. And then there'd be fingerprints all over the walls because they touch the walls all the time. And they basically just always come in with dirty hands and they put them everywhere. And there was just always kind of a low level of irritation. I could just actually picture the molecules of cortisol and norepinephrine leaving my adrenal gland every time I saw fingerprints all over the house. And then I had kind of an epiphany a few months ago, which was, hey buddy, one day there are going to be no fingerprints in your house. It's just going to be you and your wife living in this house with no kids. Or at some point, frankly, they're just going to be 18 years old or 17 years old, and they're not going to be, running around the house putting their fingers on anything, but they're also not going to be hanging out with you the way your 7 and your 10-year-old do, which right now they're with you all the time, that they're not in school, they just want to be with you. And I will tell you this, I kid you not, from the moment I had that realization, not one time have I looked at the legion of fingerprints all over this house and had anything other than a positively valenced emotion wash over me. I freaking love fingerprints all over everything. I love the mess they are making. I love the crap that is everywhere, because somehow in my brain it finally switched that when that is no longer there, they will no longer be kids. And that day is coming. I just am in no rush to get there.